If you've been speccing out a serious workstation in 2025, you've probably noticed the same thing I have. Threadripper is still the chip that everybody is talking about. But is it worth the price? And who actually needs this kind of horsepower? Today, I'll be skipping over all the marketing jargon and explain the real advantages and disadvantages of Threadripper 9000 and explain why, for certain workflows, nothing else comes close. What's up guys, welcome back to another Geek video. Threadripper Pro 9000 is AMD's top tier workstation chip. But instead of thinking about it as many people think, as the one with the most amount of cores, I'd like to think about it as the platform with the fewest limitations. It's built for people who've sort of hit a wall at the end of desktop grade chips, whether that's not enough PCIe slots, not enough memory capacity, or not having sustained performance under heavy load. If you're a casual editor or a gamer, this platform is not for you. This platform is for workflows where every bottleneck you remove is money saved. Here are a few workflows and use cases where I've seen that Threadripper Pro can really shine. 3D rendering studios, whether you're rendering in Octane, Redshift, or V-Ray, and you're using multiple GPUs, PCIe lanes are your lifeline. On a desktop grade chip, you'd max out at around 1 or 2 GPUs before you start stealing bandwidth from other devices in your system. And on Threadripper Pro, you can do all that with no compromises, meaning faster frames, shorter rendering times, and overall productivity gains. Film and VFX, imagine you're scrubbing through your timeline of multicam 8K footage with multiple effects stacked, no proxies, and real-time playback. Combination of memory bandwidth, GPU connectivity, and storage throughput means that you're not waiting for your timeline to load. Now for a pretty hot topic, AI research and scientific computing. This is where the platform's memory bandwidth and capacity really shines. If you're training AI models locally, the bottleneck isn't always raw compute. It's about how fast you can feed your data to your accelerators. And with up to 128 PCIe 5.0 lanes, you can stack multiple GPUs like the NVIDIA RTX Pro 6000 Blackwell, the new one, or AI accelerators like NVIDIA's L40S. And pairing that with up to 1 to 2 terabytes of memory capacity, depending on the platform, you can hold entire AI datasets entirely on your RAM, meaning you don't have to store them on your disk and slow your workflow down. In scientific computing, that means faster convergence. In AI research, that means shorter training cycles and the ability to iterate your models more quickly. In CAD, CFD, simulation, and photogrammetry, project sizes can explode. I had a guy working in Alaska and his projects in photogrammetry were 750 gigs to 1 terabyte in size, working at 8 of them at once. That leads to a lot of storage bottlenecks. How can I have as much storage as possible while being as fast as possible? And that leads to more of an issue of connectivity than raw compute. The Threadripper lineup allows you to have all that connectivity and more if you want to grow as an engineer in the future. So talking a little bit about the specs of this platform, starting off with connectivity. With the Threadripper and Threadripper Pro, you get 92 and 128 PCIe 5.0 lanes directly to the CPU. That's enough for multiple GPUs, networking cards, storage arrays. That's something you can't get on the desktop platform, and you'd be forced to choose between 1 or 2 of those PCIe devices. Second, memory bandwidth and capacity. As I talked about before, you get 8 channels of DDR5 ECC at 2 terabytes on the Threadripper Pro platform and 4 channels up to 1 terabyte on the Threadripper HEDT series of chips. And like I said before, for workloads that really demand that amount of memory, you'll be able to store your entire project solely on memory, leading to no bottlenecks. In AI and simulations, that means keeping everything running locally and not having to swap your data around. And third, a lot of people don't really talk about this, but Threadripper chips have really balanced performance. Unlike server chips, which have a lot of cores but low clock speeds, which are great for their respective applications, Threadripper chips have a lot of cores and they can almost run at 5 gigahertz, which is really insane considering the amount of cores you have. And it also makes it better to, you can run both applications that demand a lot of cores, and you can also run CAD, which is more single-threaded but benefits from a higher single-threaded speed. So you get the best of both worlds. But as awesome and as special as this platform is, there's no sugarcoating it. It's extremely expensive. Before even adding GPUs, it can run up to $4,000 to $5,000, and once you add them, you start to getting $10,000, $15,000 price points, which is extremely expensive, don't get me wrong, but for freelancers and people working in studios where every hour they save means money saved as well, they can make back the money on the computer in just a few weeks or a few months. And that's why this platform is extremely useful for professionals. Anyways, I hope you guys got a little insight into the advantages of Threadripper and why you should be using it. If you want to see me spec other workstations, go watch my other videos. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.